So my name is Kofie Ejenim. So straight on, we move on. Pastor, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's a delight to have you, especially considering that very soon you'll be leaving us as our district pastor. And there is a song that they sing. They say, "Uratna yenchen kakra." We would have wished that. So today, Pastor, we want to delve straight into your life.
Okay.
And then the inspiration we can pick from.
Okay.
Personally, it's very important, I think, in times like this where young people are looking for mentors, icons, people they can look up to. But if we can find people within the church who can inspire us by their personal life stories, I think it is very timely and good.
Yeah,
so we want to move straight into that.
Okay.
Your birth, your parents, where you started.
Okay.
If you can just let us in on that.
Yeah, my parents, Apostle Bernard Kofie of blessed memory. Then my mom, Elizabeth Kofie. My father happened to be a minister in the Church of Pentecost who was passed on, and he rose to become an area head.
Okay.
He retired in 2011 and passed on in 2012.
Oh, okay.
I was born during his second station at Enyinase in the western region, Lembele district. And he spent 2 years over there, and then he was transferred to Hafasni for 5 years. So I think just after birth, the transfer came. So actually, Hafasni, then at Wasim Fusu. So that is how we started seeing what was happening. I remember Hafasni, some of the things, all right. And my primary school started from there. I started school from there. But just after starting school, transfer came, so I had to restart at Asim Fusu, through to Konongo, to Ekropon before I completed JHS. Then I further on to secondary school, that is the then SSS at Okuapamai, completed, but we were transferred from there before I completed because of the border. We transferred to Abeka. Then he was made an area head after 2 years, went to Sevios. There at Vios, I had admission to attend UCC.
Okay. 2001,
then I completed in 2005. 2006, I was called to ministry. So I've been in ministry since 2006, so for the past 14 years. But I married in 2007.
Oh, okay, so you started ministry before you got married?
That was the time that you could enter into ministry before
because that was what I was coming to.
That was the time.
There was a time that it was permitted.
Yeah, so after 1 year in ministry, I was among those selected to do further studies in theology. But before I came to ministry, I had gained admission to do MPhil at UCC. I was one of the first students to be picked to do what they call as a related PhD program, which has then come. And I had a scholarship. I was then belonging to the religious department. And I had admission, full scholarship to do MPhil to PhD. And I started lectures. I was in the then, they call the graduate hostel. I think I remember room 302. That was the time that Apostle Ntimi also got hurt.
Oh, okay.
He was attacked. So they reported I had not come because I had written a letter to give me 1 year to do the coursework. After that, I will come to Bible school. Then Prophet Amir was acting as chair. And so I thought it would be taken. So I started off my MPhil just to be called that. It's not accepted, so I had to come. So I was writing level 600 then. I had to come back to start level 100. That's what it said.
Wow.
So that is how the whole thing started, and I came to ministry.
Oh, that brings me to the thing. So, okay, maybe because you were born into a month, like where you were born, your father is a pastor.
Yeah.
So, ordinarily, you would have thought that you would also become a pastor? Was that the...
No, that was not it. In fact, at UCC, they wanted to call me to ministry through the pencil line, but I declined. I declined the call. So when I completed and came home, I was made a presiding elder. I was a young man and presiding elder. And within a short time, there was a tremendous change in the local. And then people have told me several times, I've also seen several times that since ministry of is ahead. But then I was concentrating on academics.
Okay.
Because UCC, when I even started to do my MPhil in religion, the same year, I also bought form to do my MPhil in educational, that is to advance in my educational course. So I was ready to combine both, but I had admission to do that of the MPhil because I needed more than 2 years experience as a teacher to do the MPhil in education. Okay. So when I finished the MPhil, I had intention of doing it. So I wanted to have a double MPhil before even I climbed to the next level. Because with the accelerated PhD, just after it, you'll be enrolled. And you serve the university for the next 10 years as a full-fledged lecturer. Then after that, you have the option to leave. So that was the idea.
We'll come back to your roots, where you passed to come to ministry. We'll come back to it. But now I want to dwell a bit on family.
Yeah.
As a young man, I don't know the church's reason for saying you should be married before you go to ministry. What would it be?
It wasn't so. At long the line.
No, I mean currently.
It's because some of the ministers, when they are called, they have people that they want to marry. Should I say their fiancé? But immediately their station comes out, most of the women will decline the offer.
Oh.
Because he's a banker, he's working, and everything is moving on. He stayed in Accra throughout his whole life. And you get your first station, you are going to Bungbani, you are going to a place that the name is not even found on the map. So you have to resign as a banker, you go and start as a housewife.
Affects the decision making.
No, they too easily affect the decision. So now, unless you are married, your wife will go to the interview at the area level, confirm that she's ready to follow you anywhere. So that actually prompted it.
Wow. Yeah. That's interesting. Then let's come to your wife. So your wife found you in this.
Yeah, no. When we were in it was in USO I had admission to go to UCC. But before I got admission, in fact, I had to stay in the house for 3 years after completion in the SS. Not because I did not pass, but because of the 1997, 96 or 97, the lecturers went on 8-month strike.
Okay.
Then if you complete it to be 1 year, so it tends to be 2 years after completion. But then my daddy has been transferred, made an area head in 2099, transferred to USO, and all my siblings were in school. And I was the only one left in the house. So it was then a normal 2 years ago, but I had to sacrifice extra 1 year to cater for the house before I got admission to go. So that is a simple put. That's how come I have to spend 3 years. But God has a plan for everybody.
Okay.
I entered 2001. 2005, I completed. 2006, I was called into the ministry. And when we completed 2007 for the Bible school, I was among the few selected to do 1 year diploma. Okay. And within the diploma, I also excelled. So I was the one of the 3 to do further studies, to do theology. And I had the chance. Just after our batch, nobody had a chance to do 3 years theology that is continuous at the Bible school. We were part of the last batch. So just after that, there was a law that an overseer cannot do further studies.
Okay.
But when I was my first station, I was serving as a teaching assistant at Pentecost, the then Pentecost University College. So I was coming from Porting, but I also had a call that I'm to go and pick a form and go and do my master's. But I was then overseer, and it was just from the assistant, the personal secretary to the chairman then. So I had to go and do my master's in theology when I was then overseer. So 2011 I completed. In 2012, I started writing proposal for PhD, just like that, when nobody has told me anything. Only 2014 for me to be called that I should find a possible research topic because I've been shortlisted for a PhD by the church. Okay. And that is how the whole thing. So I got to know that God has a plan for everybody. Okay. And you may think that the time that I stayed in the house was not wasted years. That was the time that I also had a chance to develop myself in terms of reading the Bible, then also doing the work of the Lord. Because I combined being a local children ministry leader and a local youth leader. because I was then the local children leader, and it was booming. Everything was moving on.
Yeah.
Then they wanted to change me to be a local youth leader.
Okay.
And I said that no, I can't leave the children. So, in fact, I said I wouldn't. Then they had to combine.
Okay.
They were ready to let me combine both.
Yeah, but Pastor, I still want to go back to, at what point did the marriage really come in? Because if you had to be called into ministry before getting married, I don't know if by then you had already seen somebody.
Oh, actually, when we also, and I went to, when we went to also, and I went to the university.
Okay.
When I was in level 300, when I came for one of the holidays, immediately I get to the house, the first person that I'll go to will be my presiding elder, Elder Eba Ibedu. So I went to him to say hello. Then my wife, the father is an accountant, has been transferred to also Training College.
Okay.
And she was then in Tipole. So they've come, and they have also been accepted in the church. So when I went to say hello to my presiding, said, I'm just on my way to go and visit some new members who have come. So it is your hobby to visit members, so let's go so that I introduce you. So when I went to the house, I was introduced that this is Jonathan, the son of the area head, who is in this local. He's just from school. He's coming to say hello because I'm coming with you. So I was introduced to the family. I don't know. Just as I was introduced to the family got to know me. And I also, immediately I get a new member or new convert, I have to know your house, I have to follow up with you.
Sure.
So I started having a conversation with now my wife and the sister and the brother. They were all in the house. So I said they should come to the area mission house the following day, because they said they will go to the market. That is the Jonathan main market, which was on Tuesday. I said at market they should come, but it was only my wife who came. So we had a normal chat, but she also told me that when they came, anybody is talking at church, they said Deacon Jonathan. So she also wanted to see who is that Deacon Jonathan. That everything seems to be quite around Deacon Jonathan. Meanwhile, he's also a student. So when we met, and they also saw me how enthusiastic I was at church, and they were also in love with the church. So automatically, we were friends to all the youth. So we were visiting them and we escort them to their house, because where they were living, it was the second training college, which was a bit far from the town, but you walk.
Okay.
Escort them during the night, and that is how the conversation started. Then I reopened. She also reopened, but I was in Cape Coast. She was in Tipole, and I was then the evangelism director for UCC assistant. And as part of my jurisdiction, I was to go and do supervision at Tipole and then UMAT.
Okay.
So you go to the place and you also see them, and she was also there. So because I knew her from the house, we could chat. So there was a point in time that when I went, we had to delay for 2 hours, and I went to where she was staying to say hello and had a little conversation. So that is how we actually got to know ourselves well. So we were from the same local, and she also came in as a children ministry teacher. So you see the link from there. And when I left, Daddy was transferred from Rioso, and we came to Suhum. And I was called, when I was made a president, that we still had a contact. We talked in one or the other, but then it wasn't this phone was not so common, so this normal telephone, they had in their house, so we had one in the house, so at times she calls, I call, so it became some from there. So when it became necessary that I had to enter into ministry, I needed somebody I knew who also ministry material, and she was the one.
Okay. So this was like a natural way of...
That was it.
Yeah, you didn't make it so spiritual.
Oh, no, I did not spiritualize it.
Eli.
Oh, no. If I see what I want, I know what I want.
You just go for it.
Oh, I go for it. With that, because we pray, we study the word. So read your Bible, pray every day. We've been doing it always. So the watch and pray. We are already praying, and we must be watching.
Of course.
So when we watch and see, we shouldn't struggle seeing what we are seeing. That is my point.
Okay, all right. But Pastor, another thing, when you were transferred to this district, fortunately for me, I was one of the people who were at the mission house to pack your things.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but noticing the first thing that came was your books.
Okay.
In fact, the whole garage was full of your books. They were in this, if you and then myself and one young lady, we said, no, who is this coming? Is he a pastor or a librarian? It was full of books. So one would say that for somebody like you, your passion would have been academics.
Oh.
So why did you choose to go to the pastorate ministry and not pursue that?
It seems as long as if I want to run from ministry will be meeting me everywhere. As long as I want to run, it will be meeting me. Because in my speech, in my dealings, it was just everywhere. At times, when I was a brother, I'll be in the street, somebody will meet me. Abranche, who you na suffer. And I don't know me. Abranche, who you Pentecost, so yeah, no, my brother. No, we suffer. So these are the things, and the members too were confirming it. And one of the means of confirmation is the members in the church and your deeds and other things. All this confirmation were coming through. But ideally, if it will come my way, I still wanted to hit a mark at my academics before I entered into ministry, because I was still young. I entered into ministry at age 28. So I wanted to climb up the academic ladder a bit before I enter. So that was my intention. So academics, I don't struggle to learn.
Okay.
It is, so I say it's my strength. But everything about me seems to be ministry. So it's a matter of combining.
Yeah. But Pastor, currently, I mean, look at your role. You are currently the Dean of Students at the university, the Pentecost University.
Yeah.
And I think now you're moving away from the pulpit.
No, I'm not moving away from the pulpit. It is just additional thing to the pulpit.
Okay.
I'll be pastoring PRWC Odoko.
Okay.
That is for your information. I'll be pastoring PRWC Odoko, and as a dean of students. So I'm a pastor first, then the academic second.
Okay.
That comes with. And I will have pastored PRWC Sakumono, and that was my main duty as a minister.
And so that was a one assembly.
It was an assembly, one assembly district. But this one is even English and P.
Okay.
So it's 2 assembly.
Okay.
And I've pastored 10 assembly before. I've pastored 21 assemblies.
Okay.
So 21 assemblies. I went to Unibat 10 assemblies. I went to PROBC 1 assembly. I came to Achimota 8 assemblies. I moved back. So it is a variety.
Pastor, this one is not my own question. You know, okay. I'm just
oh, don't worry. Feel free.
But for the people,
feel free.
Some have said that probably you are a darling boy to people in top place, because I remember about 4 years ago or somewhere like that, Apostle Opokunyina had a program in this church, and then at one of the days he was bidden to talk, and he handed the microphone to you. Yeah. At that time, nobody, I mean, you were still, I'm not saying, you were a young man.
I'm still a young man.
And then the chairman of the church props you up in this way, hands over his microphone to you. What is it about you?
Okay. When we were at the Bible school, he was teaching the witch demonology as a course. And there were so many speculations about that course.
What is the course again?
Witch demonology, the combination of witches and demon issue. That is it. So when we did that course, a second semester course, in fact, the first quiz, I had 14.5 over 15.
Wow.
And the assignment, I had 14 over 15. And ideally, I should have gotten 15, but assignment and essay, you shouldn't get 15 over 15.
Wow.
So in the course, I think I had A. But I believe that the A wasn't an ordinary A. And I believe in the exams, I'll hit 90 because they wouldn't allow you to see your script.
Yeah.
Now, you were selected, he being then the rector, was busy. Apostle Chekwe, Apostle Gakweto, and now Anthony Kwating, the peer of East Akumono pastor, has been selected to do the degree. They were ahead of us 1 year.
Okay.
So they were those following him to teach that course. So when we were also called to do further studies, we also were involved in the teaching of that course. So along the line, you, at a particular, maybe one of the topics, you handled it. Then when they completed and left, it was led with the three doing the further studies in theology. That is, in addition to the other students who were secular students, should I say, they were not ministerial students, but they were also doing theology. We teach the ST as teaching assistants, and we teach the regular school because they were doing a course called
the ST is the
School of Theology Mission by School of Theological Education by Extension.
Okay.
That's the theology for the pastors on the field.
Okay.
Then the main school also doing what we call African worldview and business practices, and we were teaching it at a course, and it was we were TAs to him, so he handed over to us.
Oh, okay.
Now, when we were teaching these courses, it comes with so many challenges, because when you're talking of witches and the Ghanaian perception and other things, and you are coming with another theology, not debunking it, but just to explain for them to understand it better in another way, it was not easy.
People like the way they know it.
Yeah, and by nature, have strength in teaching. So teaching is my strength.
It's obvious.
And I could see that how I was delivering, he was interested. So when we were picked to teach it further, it's not been easy handling that course. We've handled it, and the experience is there in handling, but the perception about people, about you, in ministry and handling that course has not been easy.
So we are based.
I say, Mosi, anyhow.
Okay.
Monkwara muhu den.
Okay.
Then when we're teaching him not being to the field, Monko field da. And I'm seeing no. Na if Marco field na mongo yam kwara muni ambehu. So because it was his course, and at times when he became chairman, he would come and visit the school. As part of the course, we shall invite him. In the group that we shall teach, we make sure that he will come and visit us once or twice. And when he comes to the school as chairman, he will move straight from the car to our class. Because we are teaching. For him to sit in the class, when he closes, before he go and say hello to rector for people to know that he is seen. At times he won't come and meet us alone to have some discussion, especially when we have certain questions, or we have marked, or the results, we have to discuss results before we submit. We don't do that virtually. We want to be there in presence. At times we have to take some of the script, especially those who had higher marks. We have to go and justify it. So we had interaction with him. And at times, when he sees us with such assignment, he will stop anything that he's doing to come and listen to us. So at times, you drive all the way from the office just to come and see us and go. And it became an issue.
Yeah.
There was one point in time, he came to meet us. And he told Rector that he's coming. And when we got there, it was Rector who was arranging the place for us. And we were then students over there. So you could imagine the perception.
Yeah.
And
so you are his special boys.
And people were claiming that these people could one human kofol. But I went to Porten. And Porten is a typical Muslim community, the Fantikramo.
Okay.
And I enjoyed ministry over there. From there, I went to Winnipeg. But I was making sure that I was doing ministry. And the teaching was my hobby.
Okay.
A secondary issue. And my area heads were interested that I should be on the field. Instead of them, people were making noise that then they should go to the school to teach instead of being combining, because I was performing better on the field.
Yeah.
When I went to my first station, within 1 year, there was more than double of everything. The 3 years I spent, I had more than almost 1,000% of increment in tithe and missions offering. Should I say that? So when I went,
it's not like you have a special preference because maybe your father was Apostle B.T. Kofie.
No, the training given me helped, and it seemed the ministry was in me, and visitation was my strength, and I could come down to the level of the members. If you see those the ministry, if you are at their level, everything, and everything was flourishing.
Okay.
I quite remember when I was going to my first station, I had then bought my own car, Nizam Primary. And when we got to Porten Junction, we called. So the elders were coming to meet us along the way to pick us to the mission house. And they signaled me they gave me the indication of the car in which they were. So when I saw the car, I gave them a light, they stopped. And when I stopped to go and meet them, the elders were still bypassing me to come into the car to see the pastor. Meanwhile, I was the one who was going to meet them.
The small boy.
And, oh yeah, that's small. So if you are talking of 14 years ago now.
Even now.
And now, so you can imagine. So they passed me and went and also for them, said, Emia. So when they went to the house and welcomed me in the house, one of the deacons said, me who also from the Major also free, also potting for her dream for that also free. Then when I started ministry just 1 month, that deaconess came and said that above also for no when you name no sir. In fact, they were calling me Obia when they see me said this is man of mine go more means mature Benny.
Oh,
man of man. That's what I said, huh? Wow. But when I started with the work, they said no. This guy is matured. Oh yeah, aquarapini. So that is how. Okay. But when they tag us with the big man other things, we can defend ourselves always. But it is the work. Yeah. Now, pastoring a church, 21 locals, coming every Wednesday to come and teach. And we were coming to teach. You had a chance to be a day before, be off. It means I wouldn't go for meeting, but I will go for all meetings, move around, come and teach and go back and go and do programs even that Wednesday. So I was making sure that it wouldn't affect my members in any way.
Okay.
So everywhere that I have passed, I make sure that the teaching and other things wouldn't affect the members in any way. And I don't know. I want to believe that the teaching has not affected Achimota as in my ministry in any way that there has been, the ministry has, or the district has suffered because I'm teaching. But I've tried to do double work in order that I'll fulfill all righteousness at all areas.
Okay.
So that has been it so far.
Okay. So there was a time that we were on the field doing a youth week. We were having games. Yeah. And then somebody who come would not know that this is our pastor.
Yeah.
I mean, you were very skillful, very fast too.
Yeah.
Football too could have been another thing you could have done.
Yeah. I'm a sports person.
Okay.
I'm still a sports person.
Yeah.
At Asim Fosu, that is clinically demonstration. I was into athletics. Playing football is normal. When it came to Konongo, 4 years, Konongo, I was in Oxford International, and they were not involved in those external sports. We were doing our house sports and other things. When we came to Ekropon, Form 3 Street, that's JSS then. Just having football 20-minute games out during the break time, they spotted me. Then the following week, it was house games, inter-houses, and everybody was fighting for me because then I had not been assigned a house. So I was forced to go to house 4 because that was the person I was in the house. A leader was in the same church of Pentecost, the same local.
Okay.
So automatically, I went. Just the first game, I was picked into the school team.
Wow.
Yes.
So football has been there also.
Yeah. Then just after the first inter-schools game, I was picked to the zona. But I was also doing athletics.
Wow.
And medal distance, 800, then 1,005.
5,
then at times 5,000.
Okay.
Of which I'm not key interested in 5,000.
Okay.
But after doing this, the inter-schools, I also speak for the zona. So I was into athletics at the zona, then football at the zona.
Okay.
But at JSS, I had to go for camping. And I was preparing for my JSS BEC. I said, no, I wouldn't go for camping. Football, sports is my hobby. Academics.
It's not the main thing.
So I abandoned those things,
so
and that's what.
You're focused. That's good.
And it's been so at SS.
Yeah.
And university too, it's been so. So it is my hobby.
Yeah.
Anytime that I stand up, whether you've trained or not trained, I'll perform.
And Pastor, this is not a normal trend. Normally, when we see people come to Achimota district, they spend like 6 years.
Yeah.
And you have not done up to. Have you done up to 2 years?
2 years. September will be 2 years.
2 years. September will be 2 years.
Yeah,
so
September 16th.
So you have not done up to 2 years.
Yeah.
And then a transfer came, and then you have to leave. How has the work been in Achimota? I mean, you've been to Sakumono, you've seen other places.
Achimota is a place I know that I will never forget. I just cannot forget Achimota. I just cannot forget Achimota. And my ministry at the place has not been long, but it has been 3 years. For your information, I spent 3 years at a Bible school, 3 years at Porting, 3 years at Winneba, 3 years at PRWC Sakumono, Winneba, then Achimota 2 years. So it's only Achimota that will be 2 years. But everywhere that I go, within that short time, what the Lord will do through me is remarkable. Last Friday, the internal auditors came to do auditing because I'm out living, so I wanted to come and check our books. And then when they look through things, and within the 2 years at my time, the things that we've done, they said they still cannot accept it and believe it. Not even the COVID could affect our finance.
Yeah.
Not even the COVID. Yeah. Within 2 years, we've bought a car. We are doing this remodeling. We've started.
It's a huge project.
Yeah. Bejuahum Chapel 2 is very huge.
Okay.
Then we are buying an extended land at Kwecheman. Okay. The money is ready. They are yet to release the papers so that we pay the final one. And we had intention of completing this next year. And if they see even a titan, our DDF in 2018 and DDF in 2019, the difference was too much. And even 2020, the half year, they checked in the midst of COVID, and they still cannot understand. I said that I am not the one doing it, it's the Lord.
Yeah, it's the Lord.
So I believe that anywhere that I go, within a short time, God will use me.
So Achimota is unique also.
It's 2 years, but I'm not so surprised. I'm not so surprised because at Winneba, in fact, anywhere that I will go, my preceding district, I'll see things before I'll go. So it seems when I was going to, there has been something that I've never shared. It seems that when I was going to Sakumono, what I was seeing was 2 years. 2 years, 3 years. So it means 2 years at the place, 3 years at another place. That's what I was seeing. That is how I understood what I saw. So when I came to Sakumono and 2 years I was not transferred, and I went to 3 years and I was transferred, then I got to know that the next district would rather be the 2 years.
So, Pastor, see, when you are in ministry as a pastor, do you get the opportunity to know what is going to happen next? What is the next move of God for me? You personally.
Yeah, with me.
What did God say about Achimota?
With me, in fact, some of the things I cannot disclose. But when
let's switch off online, eh?
Yeah, because you wouldn't understand it.
Of course.
When I was about leaving Sakumono, when the transfer came, I will see a very big river, and it's very white. And you see fishes in it. And I was told that you are done here. This is the work you came and did. So the water is clean. There are fishes in it. Everything is moving on smoothly. You are not in there here again. You are done. And meanwhile, before I went there, the things that I was seeing were very rough. Rough. And I knew that the work ahead seems going to be a bit tough. But God has been so gracious.
Yeah.
Everything went on smoothly. Okay. I think when I went, the net touch was 55. I was living then, it was around, I think, 100,000 or 107 in 3 years. Within 6 months, the MO had to move from 25,
that's the missions offering. Yeah,
25 to 40, to 4,000, which was normal, then 5,000. So within 6 months, it seems there was a double. Then when I went to Sakumono, the first meeting that I had, a challenge was that there had been reduction in church attendance. And it started in February, when I came in September.
Okay.
And I said they should give me 3 months. 3 months. And if they don't see anything, they should still come to me. And after 3 months, I saw things changing. After 6 months, it was an issue. Before I left there, Lord's Supper, the place was not enough.
Okay.
Lord's Supper, people were standing outside. Yeah. And I see that within a short time, what God wants to use you to do is done. And when I was coming to this place, I was seeing something. Anytime I would see that white river, I would see rivers. And they were different. This is a white river, these rivers that I was seeing were different. Different. But just before the council meeting, I think January or February, I saw something similar, and this time the river was a bit different.
Okay.
And I was at a place, and it was just sprinkling from the overflow, and I was having a feel of it. So it was wetting my tar.
Okay.
Then I said, this river again, then anything at all can happen. But I thank God for everything. I can't go into detail. Okay. I thank God for everything. That's the letter that I would say.
So, Pastor, I know, like you said, you don't want to say certain things about what you saw about this place. But let me push you a bit. Put another way. Did it ever occur to you that in your ministry, God will bring you to Achimota? Did somebody ever speak to you about it? Did you? No. Okay.
No, never. It never occurred to me because I've stayed in Abeka before.
Oh, very close.
Yeah. And I've attended youth meetings and other things over here.
Oh, okay.
Daddy was sending me to Pastor Kwejri.
Okay.
Then the mission house was, I think, behind the boy's place.
Okay.
And I was coming there with bicycle.
Wow.
Then the Shalom Worship Center was New Boy. It was one of the locals that Daddy were pastoring. So, coming here. Then, when I came here for the apostolization in 2016.
Yeah, it was 2016.
2016.
4 years ago.
When you close, one of the evening I delivered. When you close, just here, a lady in her 50s came and said, I was just with my with Osof Mame, then I've given birth to her. The boy was with Osof Mame.
Okay.
Osofu, ufi webi ya wana, obebaha.
Wow.
Then I said, Mame, aden, osno ye hiya waha. I'm saying, aden ye hiya, osyo debut baha bebwayen. I was just looking at her, but I did not accept what she said. I did not accept.
You didn't want to put it in your mind.
Oh no, yeah. Yeteda. Oh, say, also your person buy, transfer buy. Aha, even crowd transfer we buy. Some people say, you thought you come here, I believe God in this. So it's something that we've been hearing. But this lady was very emphatic, and this woman, and said it just before me and my wife.
Wow.
So when the transfer came, I said, so what to do? Okay, them America. And I've tried to figure out that woman. I still cannot recollect.
Find.
Yeah.
Pastor, another question is, in your work here or in your ministry throughout, has there been a moment, your down moment, you say, with the idea we causing you pain, and you not wish like you had not come, but it caused you pain?
In my ministry, yes, but in Achimota, not yet.
Okay.
I'm saying not yet because I'm living in November. And November, from here, November is 3 months. In ministry, things that can cause pain, just a day, just a service is enough. Just a service is enough. Achimota, not yet, okay. But in other places.
But in your, can you name what?
At one of my stations, in fact, when I went to Winneba, where I went and stayed, the mission house, they then divided the district, I think 2 years ahead of me, or 3 years ahead of me. When the year that I came to 14, they divided the Winneba district, and then they moved the main Winneba mission house. It was given to Abasraba. So the original mission house for Winneba, they had to relocate and go and rent. That was the time that they were building a trauma hospital.
Okay.
And the place that they got, Pastor Nee spent 1 year there. Apostle Bekwen, my in-law, spent 2 years, and I had to go. And the mission house was sharing a wall. It wasn't a wall, but it was a fence, just wire gauze, with the hospital. Not knowing that the building in front of us was the morgue. And it's the morgue. And they had not opened it, but when we went there, they opened it. I think 2 weeks we got there, and people, it was fresh, so people were bringing their cups, and just in front of the mission house.
You see the morgue, the dead bodies?
No, they would just assess our place.
Whoa.
Then, that was the time that we also started experiencing the Zoom so. And they were having a lot of accidents on that road, and everybody would bring the cops there. So I can't remember some visitors would come, Pastor, I'm say, and I'm not afraid you know say you. And I knew say if yeah. And I was telling Osof Mami is a teacher, so I said that Hannah met me who They say, I see cups in different kinds, and she wouldn't believe. But one Thursday, no holiday, so she did not go to school. But our bedroom, that is where we are. If you open the main window, it faces the morgue, right behind the morgue, where they actually do things. Not knowing that there have been, I don't know whether there have been, the place is overfull. And people will be coming for their bodies Friday. So when it comes that way, they will take some of them out and dry them in the sun so that they will defreeze. I complained and they said it's not true, but we're saying it. So she was asleep, afternoon. When she woke up and looked through the window, she saw them lined up. She has not seen that before, but I've seen it several times, so it was normal. And I was in the house. Nobody was in the house. So she had to leave the room, come and stand in front of the house, and she was there too.
So have you had what we will call spiritual attack by virtue of the ministry you do?
Yeah, spiritual attack. Yes, I started having spiritual attacks from infancy. From my infancy, to sleep for me to fight in a dream was normal. So it has been normal with us for me to fight in a dream. No, it's normal. So that fighting in the dream and other things, there's no issue with you, mommy. It's not an issue. And there has been a point in time that my breath, I want to sleep. You just close your eyes and you are fighting. Just close your eyes and you are fighting. Now I need rest. It's not prayers.
Okay.
I need not to pray. I need rest. So then I said, then I slept. And nothing came again, by the way. Nothing came again. So fighting spiritual issues. My first station, I was having normal Friday prayers. Now, I brought my Bibles when it's we having, so I brought them, the members were in front. But as I was moving around, I saw a particular lady who was dodging. When I passed here, she passed here. So I spotted her. Then I said, elders, bring that lady. No, Bejina, my name. Then I started praying within me, but not to their hearing. Then the lady held my neck.
Whoa. Not
4 elders could release me. If I had been in tie like this, I would have been suffocated. Hey, they couldn't. So I had to pray. And they were saying, praying, and she had to fall. And by the time that she left me, all my tie, that it was African way, were torn. Just that the mission house was closer, so I had to go and change and come again. It was normal. Then the same district, another place, we're having prayers, and it was intensified. And I see some gimmicks from a lady. And I saw that how she was behaving like a bull. So along the line, when I'm doing prayers in that way, I don't close my eyes. I don't close my eyes. And along the line, I saw her coming, so I had to find balance myself. And she had to go and hit the head against the wall. And she fell. In the course of the prayer, I said, nobody should touch her. In the course of the prayer, she woke up. And she went and sat and cried. Why, okay. If she has got into my body, I think I wouldn't survive it. I saw that it was a bull, a buffalo at work. It is normal for us.
Okay. Wow. We've enjoyed this. Evans, do we have some questions? So can we take?
Yes, Kofie, we have some questions. Our time is fast spent, so I will just quickly bring them in, and then Pastor will briefly answer them. The first one is somebody wanted to know whether, you mentioned Konongo. He wanted to know whether it's Konongo demonstration.
No. Konongo, Oxford International. Then demonstration is Asimfusu. They call it demo. Okay. That is Asimfusu, the training college, the demonstration. Then a Kropon demonstration too.
Okay. All right. So Alex, that's for you. Miriam wanted to know. He said that, Pastor, you made mention that teaching is your hobby. Will you choose teaching at PUC over the pulpit, please?
No. Pulpit is a priority. That is what I said. Pulpit has been a priority. And anything hobby, I'll do it side by side with my main thing without any struggle. So, pulpit first. The other things, they are all...
Pastor, what will be your fondest memory of Achimota if you go?
I love everything about Achimota.
Oh.
I love everything about Achimota. One of the things that Achimota, I will never forget that I saw that they accepted us from the onset.
Yeah.
They accepted us from the onset. At a place they have to study you. Yeah. Maybe I have to minister. I've gone to a place where they have to see my administration before they
whether you are deserving
when I started, people were not writing. After 5 minutes, they started writing. Yeah. But here they accepted it from the onset. Then there was a place, a point in time, also Mommy has been so quiet.
Yeah. So
maybe first 1 month, you wouldn't see her. Oh, so Mommy, they come, how about the Usurunia? Then also, I wouldn't give her the mic to pray. The first assignment was ministration.
Yeah.
It was that after 3 or 4 months. Then I said, wow, Mr. Mohu didn't hear me preach first, and son of me preaching. We preach first and go on. I called Jimmy fans. Then I said, wow, hey. Yeah. So for mommy to me preaches, I'm saying, that is it.
Yeah.
She's a minister on her own.
That's right.
So I can't say it on her happiness.
That's right.
I have to release her. That is how I release her to preach.
Okay. Evans, is there any further?
Yeah, no, but I mean, with what Pastor is saying, very soon we need to bring us of Mommy as well one of these days.
Exactly.
Yeah, so in terms of questions.
If there is any other part that was left that Pastor could not, so Mommy to come and then talk about it.
Yes.
Oh, why not? But if you still need me, I'm always available.
Sure.
With the evenings from now, I'm okay. Between 5 and 7, I'm okay. 7. I don't have any problem.
My personal question, you see, like today, if we tell you where and the things Pastor has done,
yes,
you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
When at a point in time I said, Pastor, are you sure you can make it? He has been here, attended 2 services, traveled to Asamankese, came back, and he's here.
And I went for another meeting even before coming.
You see?
I visited a member in Sawem.
One of the questions I've had on my mind is, when does he relax? When does he rest? I mean, how does he manage combining all this? He mentioned that whether it has affected us in terms of his teaching. I haven't seen it. Yeah. You hardly realize that he also teaches. Yeah. It doesn't affect the ministry. Does he rest at all?
Yes, I rest. I rest. When it's time for rest, I rest. This week, for instance, I'll be less busy. I've been busy throughout this week. Dawn prayers, I'll come. They'll go for the pastor's prayers. Yeah. Then evening, I'll come. Yeah. And other things involved. I've been going to PU, Pentecost University, for other things too. But this week, it is the women's ministry, and we've released the women to work. So I wouldn't interfere in any of their programs. So tomorrow, only maybe family visitations and family service that are maybe involved. These are some of the things. So I'll have a rest. And the issue is that the Lord has been so faithful. If it's 1 hour that I will get, I can take a good sleep within the 1 hour. And when I wake up, it is bad. I'm okay. And I don't struggle sleeping. When I want to sleep, I don't struggle. I'll go. Yeah, so that I'll take my rest.
Pastor, there are young people coming in the church. Maybe they will go through the same retinue like you also went through. What would be your advice to them? They are struggling with academics, maybe ministry, things like that, generally for the youth.
What convinced me to accept ministry ahead of the academics was that now we're then at Suhun. So at times 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'll travel to Suhun. Then I said, the Lord is calling to ministry also unko Ope Emfield. What if say one of those days, what take care mu if he keep back, no one may do Suhua or bending. God comes up for Tiakara. It came to my mind one of the days that I was in the Asamankese Swedru Asamankese car. And that changed my thought. I thought the Lord ministered to me direct.
And that is the most important thing.
Direct. And it changed my thought. That is it. So, ministry first. The training in the mission house have been helpful. I can assure you. The training mission house is easy. To wake up at 4:30 to pray, to read the Bible, pray, is normal with us. So up to now, it's normal with me in my house. Yeah. It's normal. Vacation fasting, normal. When people are vacating, they are happy. When I'm vacating, I'm wild because kuku are simple. The betcha could go fasting. If we are capable fasting, no water. At times, we were told, say, if you even swallow the saliva, you've broken it. Or when you catch it. So that thing naturally became part and parcel of us. So you see that in ministry, we are doing what we've been trained, and the Lord has been so faithful to us. So we don't struggle much with issues. Don't struggle to stand a minister. By God's grace, I wouldn't struggle. To bring diversity in service, I wouldn't struggle. If how to make the thing lively and attractive, the Lord will do it, have His own way.
Okay. Okay, Pastor. I think we should do this again. Evan Salah. People are asking for it online. Some of our online audience.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Samuel Saki says, please, we need more of this. He has really inspired me.
That's right. So this is by popular request.
We'll schedule some.
Anytime. I don't have any problem.
Pastor, thank you so much. This is our maiden program. And then having you, it is very strategic for us, especially considering that very soon we will have to do your farewell service where you transfer to far, far, far away Pentecost University. God bless you so much.
Welcome. But the issue is that I'll be transferred from Achimota district, but I have families here.
Yes.
Anywhere you pass, I have families. So
of course.
the family is there. So no problem.
Of course. Great.